Namaste everyone here in BookTube. Welcome to my channel, Hamsavahini Vajra Astra. I'm Ahona. Today's video is going to be a short vlog in which I share my TBR for Fairytaleathon. Now, Fairytaleathon commences from the 20th of September and continues till the 30th of September. I have posted a link to the announcement videos of the respective hosts of this reading challenge or this Fairytaleathon in the description box below. So I have also chosen to pursue the Witch's Path. Now, the first challenge in the Witch's Path is to read a book which has black on its cover. So for this, I have chosen to read Chinese Fairy Tales and Legends. Now, this has been written by Wilhelm and Fredrick.H.Maartens. So I'm just going to read out something from the back cover. It reads as: fearless heroes, feisty princesses, sly magicians, terrifying dragons, talking foxes, and miniature dogs, they all feature in this enthralling compendium of Chinese fairy tales and legends, along with an array of equally colourful characters and captivating plots. Although largely unknown in the West, the 70+ stories in this volume are just as beguiling as the more familiar Grimm's fairy tales or Arabian Nights. They are collected in the early 20th century by Wilhelm and first translated into English by Fredrick.H.Maartens. This beautifully produced, revised and edited new edition includes updated notes which not only provide background on the tales but also offers a fascinating insight into ancient Chinese folklore and culture. These are the stories to return to time and time again. From awesome adventures to quirky allegories, from exploits of the gods to fables about beggars who outwit their betters, Chinese fairy tales and legends is extraordinarily diverse and endlessly engaging. These wonderful stories have enduring and universal appeal and will intrigue both children and adults. So this is a book, Chinese Fairy Tales and Legends. So this is for the first challenge under the Witch's Path. Now, the second challenge under the Witch's Path is to read a book which has nature on its cover. So the book which I've chosen is Fierce Fairy Tales by Nikita Gill. As you can see, there are a lot of illustrations of nature, etc. on them. So I'm just going to read from the back of this book. So it reads as: feminist fairy tales for young and old. Await no princess to save you, through their lips touching yours, while you are in unwilling slumber. Wake each other up instead. Step into this world of empowering, reimagined fairy tales, where the stereotypes of obliging lovers, violent men and girls that need rescuing are transformed into brave princesses, blurred lines between heroes and villains, and a courageous Gretel who can bring down monsters on her own. So this is going to be an interesting read because it has converted most of the fairy tales into a very feminist version. So I'm going to read this and make a book review on it. Okay, now the third challenge is to read a book which has either a witch or it is about the occult. So the book which I have chosen for this is by Siddharth Nirwan, who is an Indian author, and it is The Last Witch Trial. It has a witch as well as it does have the occult in it as well. So I'm just going to read the plot from the back of the book, which reads as: in the cold winter of 1916, a young angelic woman is accused of being a witch and executed publicly after subjecting to a fabricated trial in a small town. A century later, a series of uncanny and brutal murders are harrowing the town. Few witnesses evince her return, who is back to avenge the savagery done on her. A young postgraduate visits the town to meet his frail uncle and finds himself collared in the midst of the haunting. A letter reveals the dark history behind the 1916 witch trial that links the nefarious act of to his ancestry and leave him aghast. He, with the aid of an occult science expert, must fathom the chiller to endure and salvage the town from the perdition before it's too late. Based on the backdrop of innumerable witch trials that have resulted in the homicide of thousands of falsely accused women across the globe, The Last Witch Trial is a mystic thriller which spans the frontier between science and supernatural, explicit and occult, and ruthlessly exposes the social evil of witch hunting that is still rampant in India and other parts of the world. So this looks like it's going to be a very interesting novel. So hopefully I should be able to complete it, because it's not very, I would say it was not very small, but hopefully I should be able to finish it by the 30th of September. Now, the next challenge is to read a book which has an animal on its cover. So I have two books which have animals on their cover. So here, this is a dragon. It's not an animal, but it's a beast. It's a mythological beast. And here, there are animals over here. So I would use these two books for that particular challenge. And the last challenge is to read, or for the group read, is to read a book by, I believe, Shveta or Thakrar. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it, but it's Shveta Thakrar. I would post a link in the description box below of the correct name, because I believe I'm forgetting the name. It's I believe the name of the book is The Star Daughter. So forgive me if I'm wrong, because I don't have the options in front of me at the moment, which wherein I have listed most of the options which have been given, or the challenges which have been given. I don't have that piece of paper with me at the moment, but I will post a link in the description box below of the challenges which are present, as well as the group read. So these are the 5 books which we have to read for Fairytaleathon, which I'm quite excited as it begins on the 20th of September and continues to the 30th of September. And most importantly, I should be able to finish these books. So I will get back to you again once most of the books are over. And till then, happy reading and namaste.